Spider-Man is a very popular IP, hence why there's so many spin-offs, movies, games, stuff like that. And of course, that also means there's many mobile games made for it. But unfortunately, a lot of these mobile games are kind of ass, to be expected. But one of these games did stand out. It's a game that probably a lot of us played growing up. It had an actual story, good graphics, had multiple live events to keep players engaged. I'm obviously talking about the hit 2014 game, Spider-Man Unlimited. Bro, growing up, this game was everywhere. Everyone was trying to beat the story or get all the characters. It really was something that you just had to be there to experience. But what happened to this game? I mean, where the hell did it go? If you try searching for it on the Play Store or the App Store now, it's nowhere to be seen. So where did it go? Well, let's get into it. So as I said before, this game was released in 2014 and developed by Gameloft. Now, Gameloft is kind of interesting because sometimes they put out really good games, and other times they just put out meh, not horrible, but pretty forgettable. But with this game specifically, they really did cook. On the surface, it looks like another Subway Surfers clone, which was a popular thing to do at the time. Multiple IPs had one. And yeah, some parts of it was inspired by Subway Surfers, obviously, but this game actually takes advantage of the fact that it's a Spider-Man IP thing. The story of the game, yes, it did actually have a story, is that a version of Green Goblin opens a portal and brings together a multiverse Sinister Six to take over New York. So now it's up to you to recruit the Spider-Men from across the multiverse to stop them. Yeah, this game did the whole Spider-Verse gimmick before it was popular, or at least as popular as it is now, which is kinda crazy if you think about it. The gameplay itself was simple but pretty addictive. You'd run and fight enemies, take on boss fights with the Sinister Six, and complete missions instead of just running forever like other Endless Runner games. One of the most impressive parts of this game was the fact that it had over 200 playable Spider-Man characters from across the multiverse. Yeah, over 200, that's a lot. And most of these are fan favorites, including Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, and others. A lot of these variants haven't even been playable in another game since this game, and each of them had different abilities and stats, so they all felt different to play. I remember I always wanted what's his name, the guy with the paper bag and the Fantastic Four suit. I don't remember his name on the top of my head, that suit, but I always wanted this one as a kid. I don't know why, it was just one that I always wanted. But yeah, there was also limited time events, community challenges, special unlockable characters, and other things that made the game feel constantly fresh. And over the years, the game reached over 30 million downloads. It was praised for its gameplay, the animation, which as you can see from the footage is pretty impressive, and the variety of characters that were playable. But then in 2018, we got some bad news. The game's developers announced that the game would be shut down. They gave us until March 31st, 2019, and then it would just stop. And since the game relied heavily on servers to work, once those servers were shut down, there is practically no saving this. And the worst part is that the story didn't even get to finish, so it just ended on a cliffhanger. Which is why this game is now labeled as being lost media. But with a game as special as this, there has been some fans who tried to bring it back. I've seen some fan-made revivals going around and some fan-made community stuff. And don't get me wrong, all of that stuff is really cool. The fact that people are bringing this back in some way is really good. But the truth is that the original online experience with the original events and progression system are just gone with the servers. Some aspects of this game will just have to remain lost media, which as I said before, it really does suck because this is definitely one of the most unique mobile games I've ever played, and the story for it still hasn't been concluded, it's just on a cliffhanger. But yeah, let me know if you've played this game before, or have you even heard of it, or let me know if other Spider-Man mobile games that might be lost that you remember playing growing up. And yeah, that will be it. Thanks for the support recently, and see ya in the next one.